Hey everybody, welcome to day 34 of my mental health journey. For those of you who aren't aware, essentially I document my day-to-day struggles with mental health, mainly anxiety, just with the hope of connecting with other people and also providing a platform for which people for whom I can't speak can hop on here, share their stories, and hopefully connect with more people in the process. So today I will keep it brief. This is going to be a little different than some of the usual videos I do, but this is just kind of based on personal experience and my reaction to some of the recent stuff that I've seen going on just in the world today. Obviously, I've spoken on the Black Lives Matter movement. This one is just going to be more about ICE. And, you know, as a human, I go on the internet, I see a post about, ICE kicking out international students, which is in and of itself a travesty. But then I go to the comments and my morbid curiosity brings me there. And, I just see a lot of hate, a lot of vitriol, a lot of, misunderstanding about like the value that immigrants bring to our society, considering that, if you didn't know, this entire country was made by immigrants and that Native Americans are really the only true natives of this country. But we'll skip over that because that clearly has gone over a lot of people's heads for whatever reason. And I'm speaking mostly to white people, like the ignorant ones, not the ones that understand what's going on. So if you understand what's going on, this is definitely not directed at you. But I've been fortunate because I'm bilingual and because I've set aside like money and I value travel. I'm extremely interested in the world at large. I'm not somebody who views the world through like a United States centric or Eurocentric point of view. And I view life as an opportunity to meet people from all walks of life, to learn how they're living, to understand, some stuff might not align with like what you believe in. But the point of life is to meet new people and to see how they're living. And I just feel like when you try to apply a me-centric view to the world, it just makes the world a lot more boring. First of all, like people in China shouldn't be, living exactly like people in New England. Like they have thousands and thousands of years of history, and it's a different history than the history here. Like, can you really expect their culture to be the same as yours? And like, why would you want it to be? That's just so boring. I'd much rather go to a different place and live an entirely different way. But anyway, getting back to the comment section and whatnot, the main theme that I see when a lot of ignorant people talk about immigrants is that they're dehumanized, right? And if you've ever had like the luxury or the pleasure of traveling abroad, and especially if you were able to speak the language of other people, and for example, Spanish, man, people from Mexico get demonized as, you've seen everything that Donald Trump has said about Mexican people. It's so repulsive to me that I'm not even gonna bother repeating it. But you realize that when you speak with these people in their own language, that they're just like you. Yes, their cultures are very different and such, but all humans kind of have a few certain things that they're looking for. They're looking to be safe, they're looking to be loved, and they're looking to pursue what they're passionate about. And they have the same fears and like, just ups and downs that you have. Just because they don't speak English or they speak English with an accent doesn't mean that they're different than you, from you in any respect regarding that. Like, they're still human beings at the end of the day. So I just see a lot of comments where folks are dehumanizing immigrants, and it's not just Mexicans. It's, lots of Latinos, period, or I should say Latin Americans. I know that there's like the X at the end that they do, just to not denote gender and such. So I'm still trying to figure out about that actually. But anyway, it's just, I kind of hit a boiling point. I was just reading some stuff last night after I had like a Spanish group thing. And, in the group that we had yesterday, we had, and these are all very wonderful people. somebody from Panama, somebody from Costa Rica, somebody from Puerto Rico, somebody from Peru. And like these are all incredibly intelligent people, incredibly ambitious people, who have the same fears and excitements that I do. They just happen to be from a different country and their first language is not English, but they happen to speak extremely well in English as but it just goes to show you that like we're all human at the end of the day. And I get really, really wound up sometimes when I see these comments, and it affects my mental health. And I guess that's what I can say. And if it affects my mental health from a third person point of view, imagine being the person who's experiencing that hatred and such every day. It's just like, these are humans. Like, so put yourself in that situation. How would you feel about it? You'd feel angry, you'd feel depressed, you'd feel stressed, all of these things. So next time you think about saying something ignorant about immigrants who work back-breakingly hard, doing jobs a lot of times that you would never do, so don't act like they're stealing your jobs. But think about that. Remind yourself that they're human and that you're the one that's not being human by dehumanizing them. You're the one that's being a robot and not having any empathy or understanding, especially because your ancestors are from Europe. They're not from the United States. The United States is a construct. Like, they're not from this continent. Same with like Canadians and stuff like that. But I'm sure that they're a lot more open to hearing these conversations than the average American. So therefore, I'm just going to speak about the American experience and just what I've seen time after time. And I just hope that people can understand that at the end of the day, we're all human, and that, empathy, a little bit of that stuff can go a long way. And, it wasn't so long ago that your ancestors were coming to this country with, not a penny in their pocket, hoping to make it. And maybe they got dumped on by the current powers that were around during that time. So before you go out and say something bad about a Mexican person, or, somebody that came from another country and is trying to make a better place for themselves in life, just try to be empathetic. And if you still can't be able to do that, then you dehumanizing them is extremely ironic, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's not human. You're the one that can't feel and whatnot, and understand that these people are going through hell and back just to make a better life for themselves and for their future family members and such. So anyway, guys, that's just a quick commentary from me today. I'll post this later tonight. I know it's not the typical stuff I do, but this is something that I feel passionate about, and I'm not just going to sit around here with my mouth shut when I see a lot of people are, treating this hatred thing like a job and getting after it every day. So for those people, you're the ones that should shut up. You're the ones that aren't human. Take the time to educate yourself, and maybe we can have a civil conversation after that.